Hey YouTube, how you doing? This is Pastor Nate. Today is Thursday, November 14th, 2019. I just want to drop a thought on you, and you can see um, on this screen who this is, the great late Maya Angelou, someone I admired. She was a great poet. She has a quote that says, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." Now that's a very wise saying. Those are very wise instructions that many do not apply because we still have a lot of people out there who know better and just simply don't do better. It's unfortunate. We have a lot of rapists and molesters out there, and we have a lot of pastors out there who are involved in evil deeds, and you have people embezzling money from companies. In our marriages, you have spouses cheating on each other, and the list just goes on and on and on. And a lot of these things you hear in the news every day. In many cases, these people know better, but they just don't do better simply because people are selfish and they want what they want when they want, even if it's at the expense of another person's life. So, and we have this saying, I think we misquoted. We take it from Maya Angelou. We said, when a person knows better, they will do better. I heard a person say that as if you know better, there's assurance that you will do better. But as I just stated, that's not always the case. Now, that should be the case. And in some people, that is the case. Some people just simply don't know. And that list that I just provided, that I just mentioned about all these evil deeds, many of these things are driven by mental illness. I do understand that. But a lot of these things are just driven by selfish reasons. And we know better. Now, I have a Bible verse that I feel is in alignment with what I'm saying. And I've listed three versions: the King James Amplified and the Message. The reason being is because the Amplified and the Message kind of breaks it down in a more simple format. But I'm a King James guru. And it says, Revelation 1:3, it says, Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So in essence, it's telling us, blessed is the one who reads and learns and understands and then apply the knowledge that he or she has learned in order to get that blessed life, in order to get the different results. Because many people are in the same spot from year after year after year, and they expect different results, and it's just simply not going to happen. We got to change our mind. We got to change our mindset. It's like a paradigm shift in many cases, and we can't expect different results and doing the same thing. They got a name for that. And we have people going to church. And my question is, why do we go to church if we're not going to change? We go to church to hear the word of the Lord. Many of us have sat in church from year after year after year, and we go back and we do the same thing. The man and the woman of God have preached the word of truth and have preached the word of faith and have told us how we can live a blessed life. But we still go back to our old life and practice the same thing. And then we'll say, I'm waiting on God to do this. I'm waiting on God to do that. When God is simply waiting on you to apply what you have heard and what you have learned so you can get the results you need, so you can live that blessed life. Because it says, blessed is he that readeth and that hear the words and keep those things which are written. That person will be blessed. So you're not going to be blessed just simply hearing it and not applying and not doing anything about it. And when we go to these services from Sunday after Sunday or Wednesday after Wednesday, and we go back doing the same thing, that's just like a dog returning to its own vomit. So the change starts with us. Now I have an example here. I didn't put this up to brag, but this is the best example that I could think of right now. And Pastor Nate is not the smartest person in the world. But one thing about me is I'm a hard worker. And once I've learned and made mistakes, I find out what I need to do differently and I apply it. And this is the best example I can come up with. As you can see, I'm in, those of you who know me, I'm in a doctoral program, if you heard my other videos. And as you can see, I have mostly A's with one B, and the B was in the first class. I do have a couple A minuses, but I'm not going to sleep on an A minus. Thank God for my A minus, because I'm still in the A family. But what I want to focus on is when I first got in this program, I went in with a master's mindset because I did well in my master's program. So I used that same energy from the master's program to apply it in the doctoral program. And oh, did I have a reality check. I was up for a rude awakening. It was like a cultural shock, which is why I got a B. Now, I'm not going to sleep on a B because a B is good. But if you can reach higher and you can get better, why not reach for it? So to make a long story short, I asked my instructor, what do I need to do in order to, do well and make A's in subsequent courses? And one thing she told me, among a couple other things, but I just want to use one example. She said, when you're writing your paper, don't use your own assertions. Base your research on peer-reviewed literature. So essentially that is basing it on people who have their PhDs and people who went through the doctoral program and have actually done the research and have done the studies, which means their research has been proven and those theories have been tested. So when you're writing on a certain topic, try to research peer-reviewed journals to cite and to validate and to warrant your writings on. I had to learn that because I didn't completely do that in the first course. And she told me some other things too. And once I did that and applied that knowledge, as you can see, I don't have a B in the rest of my courses. Now I still have a few more courses to go, and I pray that I stay in the same routine, in the same cadence, so I can continue to get these good results. And this is a life lesson. This can be applied in every area of your life. For example, many of us are on our jobs, and many of us have been let go from our jobs, have been terminated because of maybe it's how we interact. And I don't know, that's just one example. It could be many other things, but I know interaction is a big thing because jobs I know mine in particular, don't only just evaluate you based on your skill set or your abilities, but how well you interact in the workplace, how well you communicate with your peers, with your managers, with clients. A lot of those, the way you interact can be a deal maker or a deal breaker. Well, when I first came into the corporate world, I had to learn that because many of you, in our culture, we're very passionate in how we say things, and it can come across as very threatening because we're emotional when we say things, and we have to step back and see how that look from another person's perspective. Well, I had to learn that, and once I learned that, I had to do better in the way I interacted with others. And in many meetings with my manager, with my directors, a lot of those conversations, they didn't feel good. But eventually I learned because I applied the knowledge, and now I interact much better in the workplace. Now, is everybody going to like you? No. You're going to have that one or two persons that's just simply not going to like you just because. But it certainly made my journey in the workplace a lot better once I applied what I learned. Once I knew better, I did better. And this also can be applied in your friendships. I've learned what to say now. I learned many of us friendships were sabotaged because maybe we said the wrong thing. Maybe we redistributed confidential information. We've all been there. I've been there. But now since I've learned, my friendships are lasting much longer. Family relationships. Many of us can't get along with our families, and we just have to step back and say, what do I need to do differently? Because a lot of family members are just simply not going to change. And while many of these situations we find ourselves getting in with our families, they're not our fault. We still need to take the higher road and say, hey, what would have happened if I handled this differently? Or if I said this like this, going back to the job thing, how well we interact. Using that emotional intelligence, right? Using that diplomacy. A lot of times we have to make the change. The change starts with us. We have to apply the knowledge that we get. in order to get the different results. And it just goes on from different situations. So in essence, what I'm saying, in alignment with Maya Angelou, when you know better, you should do better. It's not always the case, but you should do better. I hope this bless you today. I just wanted to drop this nugget with you. Thank you for stopping by. If you like this content, if you like this channel, I want you to subscribe and share. Maybe you know somebody who needs to hear this word of encouragement. Share this video with somebody else. Just know that I go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on the radio station. It's the Smart Show. And come on and stop by and check me out. It will bless your life. And from time to time during the week, I might upload a video that I feel would be encouraging, like this one here. But stop by on Tuesday. I want you to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be notified when I do go live. Thank you for your support, and I want you to have a blessed day. Until next time, be at peace and not in pieces.